Hello guys. Um, yeah, actually what I felt was, even I'm learning electricity still, and I met many of, even graduate students. We talked about electricity, but, when you graduate, what we know is the Ohm's law or just really great at, solving the math problem. So I'm trying to understand the concept of, physically, what is that, the electricity. So I'm trying to explain mostly without math. Okay, let's start. So electromagnetism. So today's concept is what is electricity? Let's see. So electricity is, we know well, right? But for example, electricity is energy, right? Something to operate our electrical stuff. For example, TV, computer, cell phone, light, even there's an electric car, right? So electricity is, we could say that electrical energy that can operate our electrical stuff or load, right? Next, how do we get electricity? There's two ways. First of all, as we know well, is a battery, right? And which means, by obtaining electric charge, you know what I mean? I'll explain later more about it. So, and the second way is, as we heard generally, generator, by changing the magnetic field. I also explained this part, easily and simply, you know what I mean? So let's see more. So, getting the electrostatic induction, for example, just obtaining the electrons. Look at that. Here's electrons, here's direction of movement, right? Electrons moving, which means there is a current, you know what I mean? Electrons, when it moves, it's get energy, you know what I mean? So it's gotta be a current. When electrons move, we say it's current, okay? I will explain about it more deeply later, but today's concept is just about knowing the concept itself, you know what I mean? So next step is electromagnetic induction, changing the magnetic field. We don't know what does that mean, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm here to explain you guys. Look at that. Let's see, this is core, right? But let's assume that this is core. So now it stopped, but coil is rotating, right? So coil itself feel like the magnetic field is, it's changing, it feel like. Because look at that, for example, the magnetic flux is coming down here, right? So now it's 100%, right? But if it's, rotating, little bit changed, right? The how we get the, how much of the electric flux it feel like, the coil itself feel like, it's gotta be changed a little bit, right? So we say, if it changes, the coil is rotating, the coil on the coil, there's a, uh, EMF is induced. I will explain more about it. But I guess you guys 80% understand it if you guys understand this part. Let's see more. So to understand the, magnetic, uh, field, you know what I mean? When the coil moves, how it's, how the induced energy, in electromotive force. Sorry, EMF is, induced. Let's see, to understand this, we have to, have to memorize this. Try Faraday's law and Lenz's law. Electromagnetic induction. So, here's the equation. Faraday's law's differential equation. Actually, here's you can see minus. If there's minus, it's Lenz's law. If we delete this minus, this is Lenz just Faraday's law. I'll explain it later. I'll make it to compare what is that Faraday's law, Lenz's law. So the basic concept is when the coil is rotating, at the coil, the induced, electricity is made, the electromotive force, you know what I mean? So let's see. But before understanding it, we need to memorize this equation. Let's see. Look at that. I'll explain about it. I'm so kind, right? Let's just see. Okay. Here, the electricity is induced electricity. Simply I say EMF is induced is a differential equation, right? We don't need to, too much focus on the message. We need to know about what does that mean. So, yeah. So this is, pi, not pi. This is a magnetic field. You know what I mean? So when the time goes by, if the flux is, change it. It feel like the coil itself feel like the flux is changed. The E induced energy is induced. Though it sounds like it's stupid. But what I mean is EMF is induced. You know what I mean? At the coil. For example, look at that. Here's coil, right? Now it stopped. But what I'm saying now is the times, goes by, right? So which means, look at that. The time goes by. If the coil itself feel like the flux is, going here, right? Or here, it doesn't matter. So it's the coil itself feel like the flux itself, it's feel like changes. You know what I mean? So magnetic field is feel like changes. It makes it electric, EMF is induced in the coil. You know what I mean? Yeah. I guess that this is the simply and the best explanation in the world. I hope so. And let's see more. Sorry, guys. I'm not native English, so my English is, not very great. But I'm trying to make you, guys understand easily and more. So sometimes if I make, some words thing, specific word, I'm sorry about it. But the basic concept is right. Okay. Let's see more. So here's Faraday laws, So look at that. Here's a coil, right? Magnetic flux is this direction, right? And the coil is rotating, right? For example, like this, right? So the coil itself feel like, the magnetic flux is feel like a change. Coil itself feel like, right? Magnetic field is changing. So there's a two-way actually. One is, the magnet is rotating, or the coil itself, coil is rotating. But for the school, you know what I mean, to make us to understand more, we usually use magnet is, static. So which means the stator part is, I will explain about the specific term. So magnet is just stopped here, right? And the coil is rotating inside. But if it's reverse way, it's same. But generally, when you make it generator or something else, generally we use it. The magnet is rotating. I will explain. I'll make a lecture about this later. Okay. So just understand the part is, when the coil is feel like the flux is, magnetic field is changing. Coil is feel like there's induced, energy is induced, or what I mean, EMF is induced. Okay. I'll explain more. Look at that. So I said the coil consists of a face or side, right? Both sides. But we say coil is not actually it's coil, but we say there's a inside of the space, you know what I mean? The face, or we say side, okay? This, it feels like here, the, what is it? This color is green? Yeah, green. This part is feel like it changes. Yeah, the coils, I mean, the coil itself is here, we say, not here. Actually, it's a coil, but what I mean is when the coil itself feel like a changing part is here. So, for example, here's a coil, scale, right? For example, what I meant is this green part is inside over here. Got it? And let's yeah, to understand this, look at that. Passing, you know, passing particularly in the phase vector of the coil is a valid component, and the horizontal is invalid. If you guys just see this sentence and understand this, you guys are really genius. So I guess it, but most of you guys yeah, hope to understand it, but I didn't, so I will explain like me couldn't understand, you know what I mean. Let's see, what is it? Okay, I'm so kind, you guys. I tried to explain more easily and simply, and I will finish the lecture, as could I as possible finish earlier, you know what I mean? You guys' time is important. Look at that. I will gotta be Picasso now. Look at that. So what I mean is here, as you can see, as I said, the vertical, you know, let us see. Here's the like. So there's a number 1, 2, 3, right? It's just to think it's a magnet is rotating. You know what I mean? It seems like now it's outside, but it doesn't matter inside or outside. You know what I mean? Just to understand you guys. Now the magnet, flux is kind of like this, right? So for example, now it's perfectly, pass in the core, right? Flux is. So we say to say here, right? One perfect point, right? Okay, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Yeah. And second part, look at that. Second part, it's a moving, right? Little bit setas angle, right? But it gotta be, horizontal. Look at that simply. It's a vertical this way, right? Perfect. But this way is if it's vertical, it's gotta be horizontal, right? So this is horizontal. So which means 0 because it's 100%. But as you know, we need to move theta, right? Little bit. So it gotta be like this is the second part. The third part is also, but the main thing is now it's reverse way, right? Like this. So it gotta be, but it's a vertical, right? Still. So it gotta be minus part here. Just minus 0. And then the for this part, look at that. What gotta be? Let's also make it horizontal. So look at that. Here, 0 part, right? And then if it goes 1, it gotta be also 1. This is, the coil feel like the flux is changed. The magnetic field is feel like a change. You know what I mean? Even just the magnet is just rotating. The coil itself feel like, it's something changed. This is really important concept. Later, you guys should understand the more steps. Yeah, today lecture is done. And I hope so you guys can understand everything. And if you guys feel like think like it's good lecture or to help you or to make you guys interested in electricity, you guys, I like you guys like it and you guys subscribe, please. Thanks a lot.